Once again, welcome to my YouTube channel, PS1 with Excel International Maths by Mr. Kamotho. And in this video, I want us to understand something to do with negative indices. And I continue to explain this book. And we are still in topic number 1. We are winding it up. And we are on page 14. We have outlined earlier that if a number is raised to power a negative index, if a number is raised to power a negative index, let's say negative a, this is the same as saying this is the same as saying 1 over a raised to power positive a. This one goes without saying. It's called a reciprocal law of indices. Anytime you have an index at a negative with a negative sign, if it happens to go on that other side as a reciprocal, either at the denominator position or at the numerator position, the sign reverses automatically. And you'll see the rules of indices can also be extended to work with negative indices. In an earlier number chapter, you used 10 raised to power minus 2, which we said, for example, if you have 10 raised to power minus 2, we said is equals to 1 over 10 raised to power 2, or rather 10 squared. This also works with numbers other than or different from 10. And I want us to straight go to example 7. Example 7 and see something different. Show that 2 raised to power minus 2 is 1 over 2 squared. And this is just show that 2 raised to power minus 2 is 1 over 2 squared. And I'll give it a very simple approach, the approach of division. And I will first of all talk about, assume 2 raised to power 2 divided by 2 raised to power 4. Of course, this is 2 raised to power 2 minus 4, which is negative 2. Now, if you pick this one now to explain further what happens, we are going to have a number that talks of 2 raised to power 2 over 2 raised to power 4. And if you open this bracket, if you clean it up a little bit, it's going to give you 2 times 2 all over 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Yes, 4 times. So that cancels with that, that cancels with that. And of course, you will see at the numerator we have 1 times 1, which is a 1, 1 times 1 times 2 times 2, which is a 4. And what were we supposed to show? Show that 2 raised to power 2 is 1 over 2 squared. Of course, 4 itself is 2 squared, so this one is 1 over 2 squared. And of course, we say, hence shown. That is very good. Example 8, let's talk about example 8 just in the same video. Example 8 is the same, it's going to use the same kind of knowledge. Work out, it's talking about work out 8 raised to power minus 2 over 3. And this is just, the denominator is going to be the cube root of 8 raised to power minus 2. And the cube root of 8, everybody knows, is 2. This is 2 raised to power minus 2. And of course, we all know when we get there, this is 1 over 2 squared, which is 1 over 4. It's simply a quarter. That is the end of the story for that one. This one takes us to example 9. They are short examples, and I want us to just elaborate them, all of them. Let's talk about example 9 in the same video. because example 9 talks of work out 2/3 raised to power minus 2. What does this mean basically? This means 1 over 2/3, which is now raised to power positive 2, which is equals to 1 over 2 squared is 4 over 3 squared is 9. Now, I want us to be very keen here. 1, it's a number that is divided by its fraction. And we know this is the numerator, we just have 1 over 1. The numerator, we have 1 divided by 4 over 9. Of course, 1 is always over 1. Anything is over 1. And the moment we get here, we must remember anytime we divide by a fraction, it means we can as well multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor, which is 1 over 1 times 9 over 4, which is easily 9 over 4. And that is the solution to that particular example. You will bear me witness that we have seen this before, so I don't need to elaborate further about it. I just want us to go to example 10 now and 11 in the same video so that we can save time. And let's talk about example 10. And in example 10, we are saying work out 16 out of 81, everything raised to power minus 3 over 4. And we know this is going to be the fourth root of 16 out of 81, everything raised to power minus 3. And what is the fourth root of 16? We all know that the fourth root of 16 is just a 2, because 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16. So the fourth root, you can use calculator to get the fourth root. In the next video, I'll show you how. 2 over the fourth root of 81 is 3 raised to power minus 3. And again, it goes without saying, this one is going to be 1 over 2 over 3 raised to power positive 3. Once you do a lot of practice here, you realize that this one can be 1 over 8, because of 2 cubed is 8 and 3 cubed is 27, and this is 27 out of 8. Once you do a lot of practice, you do not need to be going this way. From here, you can easily know that the whole thing is ending up as a reciprocal, so you can reciprocate it at this level, 3 over 2 raised to power 3, which is again 27 over 8. That would be good. And finally, we talking about example 1, example 11 in the same video. It's the only one left, so let's squeeze it here. Show that 2 raised to power 0 is 1. Show that 2 raised to power 0 is 1. And I think I have shown this. Let us just very fast do it. Let's have 2 cubed divided by 2 cubed, which is 2 raised to power 3 minus 3, which is 2 raised to power 0, is going to be equals to 1. But how? This is 2 cubed all over 2 cubed, which is basically 2 times 2 times 2 all over 2 times 2 times 2. That goes with that, that goes with that, that goes with that. Of course, 1 over 1 is easily 1, hence shown. That is as simple as that. Again, visit my YouTube channel, subscribe and share widely, And if I'm not wrong, that could be the end of that very first topic, number 6. And now you should be ready to answer some questions. Thank you. And once again, let's work together.